ngibingelele ngibonge for joining us this evening kuRise. Utshwala into ejwayelekile evunyelwe and it's part of our culture. For some of us umcimbi awusumcimbi uma imbombi ingekho. Ngithanda ukwamukela ama-host wami amahle. Bo! Yeah. Sisathinta le ndaba yotshwala no? I-society influence ngendlela ezinjani, ngendlela eziphi ukudewe sesicabanga khona ngotshwala manje.
Yazini mina ngicabanga ukuthi le ndaba yotshwala ne it doesn't start just with society ne perception yethu. Qala ekhaya ngoba mina umama wangitshela mangishaya bo 16 yabo wangitshela ukuthi yazini phuza ekhaya wazi ukuthi yazi mangiphuma manje bangiphuza ngiyazi ukuthi okay ngishaya 1 2 sengi right yabo abangani bami abanye ha uzababona balala phansi
fela nna ke nana re nthongwe e feteletsang taba enana ya alcohol ke boraditaba ha qala bula kwanta magazine le TV a khole hohle le pina tse re mamelang le tse re hausane nka go slatla kapa no alcohol ke fashion
yabona nendaba masesifika ke indabeni utshwala angazi ngivele ngithinteka mara manje akusayini ngokuphuza manje sekela ngebhodlele uma unganebhodlele liso awusafithi uma ungaphuza utshwala obuso
Ibeke kahle. Futhi on point futhi le ndlela khuluma ngayo futhi akumele futhi sikhohle ukuthi le nto le is part of our lifestyle manje. It's ingrained in our culture. Asingakhohle amagama afana njengephuza Thursday kanye ne Sundowners, Wine Wednesdays kanye na Payday as well. But wait, Payday masokufika lapho khona sesikhokhelwa khona ngempela usuwazi ukuthi nje ngale weekend lesiyojuquza.
Njalo singakwazi ukenjoya umcimbi umtshwala bungekho.
Ezi mina Thuli yabo wena uyaphapha unjani njengomuntu kodwa mina ngicabanga ukuthi sometimes mangiya out ne and ngibona ubrother mhlambe ngishaya A1 no A2 ukuthi ngilusana up kancane nje
yabo no brother
exactly
kodwa sokuyinjwayelo as well sesijwayele ukuthi mase sifika nje emcimbini ukhona nje utshwala so we don't even question it anymore
nna ke nana hape ntho etsang hore re tolerate go re se taolong ha re le bodi party e ke batswadi ba rona ba rato iketsa ka ha ba tsebe rana jale re thabetse ntho hore motswadi hamponi this is the only time of the week mo ke khonang honwa ka teng kana that's why re bang out of control ha re go di party
ngoba wazi nokuthi uphuza kangakanani so sibambini lapho asibhekeni ama effects hotshwala endabeni kaNeo
ukuphuza ngaqala ngo-2008 sasinabangane sasikuye kwiphathi yomngane wethu esasifunda naye nami umgwinyo ngusebenzisile nje obade ngikhuleka usisi wami ukhethile bengikhuza ngaso sonke isikhathi kodwa ngingamlaleli kunaloko besize siqabane la endlini uthola ukuthi sesiyashayana siyalwa la endlini
thina sikhule kwifamily angizobeka kanjalo kwifamily engakhona ukusenzela izinto akusebenza umuntu angisho nje kanjalo ekhaya asitholi ukuthola ukunakekela ngendlela yabo so thina bekusi-affecta kakhulu lokho ngiyazama ukuthi njengoba nje zama indaba ukuthi sihlukane not exactly umgroove utshwala because besi-abuser besuthatha ezi uyena mawethu yes yena mduduzi wethu
eklinikhi bebethi ilona ama-drugs awekho right enganeni ngoba kokunye iphuma ikhubazekile kokunye iphuma mhlawumbe uthola ukuthi umqondo uthatha kancane slowly ngisho esikoleni lo mntana owesithathu lo kodwa laba bawu-2 abaphilanga lo munye wokugcina washone nenyanga eyodwa no-4 days lo munye kwabe miscarriage ngangazi ukuthi ngikhulele ngisebenzisa ama-drugs yonke into adeshiwe bengibona nje ngazi ukuthi kuyadlala umdlalo ngabanaki ngihambele into enginendaba nayo bekuyile zinto lezi ama-drugs nomgrovo-ke nabangani ngaye ukuphuza utshwala nokusebenzisa ama-drugs because ngase ngibanjiwe futhi nje basebe-honest nje bangisa kwi-counselling ngabona ukuthi angivele ngiyeke ngiqhubeke ngidle ilo treatment yaseklinikhi khona nengane izoba right nami ngibe right
sobabili siyathembisana siyatshelana ukuthi siyakhwitha siyayeka but ke sidinga isupport nyani ukuthi sibalance kahle kule decision esisithathile because ngeke size sikwazi ukuthi quit overnight
into eyenzakalile ngiyabona ukuthi aqhubekeki nempilo if ungenalutho futhi ngiyabona ukuthi zonke lezi zinto ezisho zi-right and nokubona kwami ngibona engazuthi manje sengimoshela isikhathi esikhulu ngibhizi ngenza lezi izinto engasini.
The most harmful effect we anticipate from alcohol is that we'll wake up with a bad hangover, but we hardly consider passing out and being violated. Re ke le botse le nana hore ke eng se etsahalang maphelong a rona se re etsang hore re ithole se re hlekefetsa dai se re no ftatekana.
Yes, lo muntu wesifazana kade ekhuluma kule insert uthe into wathi ukuthi utshwala kumana kwafana njengoma wethu waba imduduzo ngaphakathi kwethu izimo esidlula kuzona empilweni zine stress zisiphatha kabi, and at the point at which we finally decide ukuphuza, it's simply because of the fact that we want to escape, sifuna ukukhohlwa. Kodwa at the end of the day mase sivuka ekuseni the next day we sick, you know, we're regretful of those zinto lezi kade sizenza the day before.
Iphinde isinto kule ndaba ukuthi lento yokuhlala nje ekhaya ungenzi lutho ugcina uba isidakwa esisikazi ugcina uyokolodisa nase next door sonekolodo eziningi songakazi nokuzibhadala, you understand?
Jwale ka le batho ba batjha ke eng some of the dangers tsena nang re ka kopana le tsona ka baka fela la tae?
Mina ngicabanga ukuthi njengabantu abasha and especially amantombazane yabo masiphuma siyophuza, you can't drive yabo. So environment yethu ku South Africa akunayo i-transport ongayithatha uye ekhaya, so fanele ubheka abo brother ongabazi ukuthi bakunike i-lift and then lezi zinto ziba complicated ngoba lapho brother ayi abatrusteki kahle.
And ukusiza ngani vele ukuthi senze kanjalo ngoba uma kuukuthi sesiyaphuza ngokweqile chances are ukuthi our inhibitions will lower, you know, indlela esithatha ngazo inqumo zethu ngeke zibe ngendlela elungile, and then once that happens we become manipulated by guys so much easier, and then uma kuukuthi we're then sexually violated, it makes it so difficult ukuthi sikwazi the next day to prove ukuthi lento lesiyenzile wasn't consensual.
One need to date. Pili re qala ke botse some of the audience hore na how they feel ha ba bona batho ba tauweng ne. The first one or annoyed or not ne hobane o ska bona ba rata this cat calling ba re bitse mabitso bane fa ba se bana le confidence alcohol. Omongena a re wa kwata only when they come into their personal space, otherwise nana hore ba qavola. Ha re botse expert ka taba tsena ka mora papatso.
Actually, how much is too much?
For women, 2 standard units of alcohol, and 1 standard unit is 3/4 of a beer or cider.
Welcome back. Today we have Severa Khalidine from Soul City in studio with us. Severa, thank you so much for joining us in studio today to basically speak about alcohol and its impact on women. So let's start from ground zero. Actually, how much is too much?
Okay, so for women, they're meant to have 2 standard units of alcohol, and 1 standard unit is 3/4 of a beer or cider, and half a glass of wine. I see the surprise on your face. People usually get surprised. So actually, young women shouldn't have more than a glass of wine or 1.5 cans of beer or cider at a sitting or in one day.
So how do we know that we actually have a drinking problem?
Well, I think if you're someone that can't get through the day without having your cider, or your beer, your whiskey, your wine, whatever it is you drink, and you think that you know, that it's just social drinking, but it's integral to your day, as if you're brushing your teeth or you're having something to eat or you're drinking water, it's that essential to you, then you have a drinking problem, even if you're not drinking a lot.
What impact does drinking have on us as young women?
Sadly, it's very problematic for young people, both young men and young women. But so one of the things we don't realize is that our brains as human beings continues to develop until the age of 24 and a half. Okay, so if we start drinking alcohol before that, it impacts on our brain. So as little as 5 times of drinking a month leads to permanent changes in the brain in 14 areas of the brain. So that change is irreversible. even if you only drink 5 times a month, and you don't have to be drinking excessively, but you'd be having more than those 2 units of alcohol that I told you about.
Yeah.
So it's affecting the areas of judgment, the areas of memory, which you wouldn't really want to have, because that's the time you're studying and, you know, you're making long-term decisions about your life and all of that. The other area that's really serious is around the risk-taking behavior. So when young people are together and they are under that age, or even they might be around that age, they're more likely to engage in risky sex, which basically is sex without a condom. They're more likely to go out, leave a drinking place or a party with people they don't know, or they don't know very well, or even if it is someone they know, they're more likely to go home and have sex with them. If they use a condom, they might not use the condom properly, and so that might lead to STIs like HIV or other STIs, or unplanned pregnancies. So the list is long, actually, of the harm that results from drinking unsafely.
Earlier on in the episode, we saw a young woman, and this young woman basically lost a child, and she was told that she lost the child due to the fact of alcohol. So please, can you expand on this for us?
Okay, so so what we know is that if you drink when you're pregnant, there's a very high risk of the child being born with an illness called fetal alcohol syndrome, basically meaning baby alcohol disease, okay? The problem for us as women, and especially for all of you and our Rise Club women, is that for the first 8 weeks when you're pregnant, you almost always don't know, okay? So the harm that can be transmitted to the baby is at a higher level in those first 8 weeks. So anybody that wants to become pregnant, any young woman or older woman that wants to become pregnant, then shouldn't be drinking alcohol, because she might pass it on to the baby, even in the first 8 weeks of pregnancy, when you don't know you're pregnant.
So what can be done in our country to ensure that young women like myself drink a lot less?
We need to look more around the social norm, that we think that we can't have fun if we don't drink alcohol, and all of us need to question that more. There's too much of advertising of alcohol, so we need to ban alcohol advertising and all kinds of marketing and sponsorship. Alcohol is too cheap. We need to make alcohol more expensive, because there's evidence again that when it costs more, people consume less. We also have far too many alcohol outlets, very, very easily accessible, around schools, around clinics, around universities. Basically, it's very, very easy to get alcohol, and we need to make it less easy to reach.
All right. So in our audience, we have a few young girls who basically have questions for you. Does a glass of red wine help prevent heart disease?
Look, the evidence about that isn't very direct. Some medical professionals will tell you that a glass of wine every day, which actually a glass of wine is your limit for the day as women, you know, doesn't cause any harm. But for example, there's other evidence from the cancer associations globally, which say that any amount of alcohol increases your risk for cancer. So we don't really want to increase our risk for cancer. That is more recent evidence, say over the last 10 years. So we need to weigh these two. Do we want to protect our heart, or do we want to protect ourselves from cancer? And we wanting young women to make their own decision, but to make an informed decision. So to know about the risk for cancer and the risk for heart disease. And then make a choice.
So now the final question from one of our guests is, can you quit alcohol once you've been addicted?
It's a long, difficult road to get out of anything, like dependency on alcohol, dependency on sugar, dependency on chocolate, dependency on food. These are not good things for us to become, you know, to get our body used to, because to undo that requires a lot of effort on our own part, on building our willpower, building our, you know, our habits, changing our habits. But if you know that you have a problem, there are many treatment centers to help us fix the problem afterwards. But it's better to look at how to do it safely and healthily from the beginning, so that you don't have to undo harm, which is what we're hoping will happen through these kinds of conversations.
Thank you so much, Severo, for sitting with us and discussing alcohol and its impact on young women. See you after the break.
Welcome back. Ngaphambi kokuthatha ikhefu sibuza umbuzo othi, how many drinks are considered too much for a woman in a single occasion? The answer is B, because drinking more than 4 drinks at a single occasion is considered unsafe and excessive drinking. Sislebo kaya kache ketengo kaya ngwana ketengi. Does anyone have a question for Usislebo?
Yes, I do.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sis Lebu, if I may ask, the expert said that your mind is well developed when you are 24 years old, but the African law says that you can drink alcohol when you are 18 years old. So at what age are you supposed to drink alcohol?
I think when the laws were made, they wanted to make them at the age where you are considered an adult, ne? Because at 18 you can vote. But the expert was right. Research shows that your brain is not fully developed until you are 24 and a half. So if I am to advise anybody, I think it would be better to wait until you are 25, particularly in the manner that we drink in South Africa. Abantu baphuza kakhulu. So it's so much better to wait, because I think what the expert was trying to explain to you is the fact that alcohol can have effects that you can't even see. You know, even if you don't get into an accident, you don't get raped, you don't get, and then when I know I can stomach alcohol, you must be aware of some of these other effects that alcohol has that you cannot see with your eye.
Go ahead.
Sislebo, ngathanda ukubuza ukuthi why masiphuza sikhala noma masiqeda ukuphuza sibahoni?
That's an interesting question. And you know, you must remember alcohol is a drug, ne? And it alters your mind and how you feel. Abanye bazothi ngishaye, when I've been drinking, I can now face people. Ne? So it's like taking any other drug. Alcohol is a drug. Abantu bayakhala, abanye bayacula, others feel very excitable sexually. It simply is because you have taken a drug into your body, it has altered your mind. So I think we must always be careful about the decisions that we make.
Sislebo, if I may ask, is it true that every individual needs a little bit of alcohol in his or her body?
In their body? There's nothing like that. Nobody needs alcohol in their body. You know what is very interesting, ne? We read things in the paper, we read them on the internet, and all of them are like a study shows. And when they start saying a study shows or research ite, we all think just because they use the word research says or a study says, scientists and stuff like that. What is very interesting, and it has been proven even with smoking, is the fact that sometimes the alcohol industry will even hire researchers. And they hire researchers so that researchers come in and say, bayaba sponsorisha. So what they write about alcohol is to make us believe, hi man, you know, one glass of wine a day. And because Nat is funukpuza, those are the studies that become much more believed. So no, I need this thing. Apparently you live longer when you drink alcohol. So nobody needs a bit of alcohol in their bodies every day.
Thank you so much, Sislebo. Do you have any reflections on the show today?
I think for me, what is important about alcohol is that we must understand that it's an industry.
Yeah.
Ne? The amount of money that we spend in a township, in a tavern, we are not building even our own communities. We are destroying our communities. And I think what young people don't start to believe is the fact that tinakala in our culture, alcohol was brewed at home, and the alcohol content was very, very low. And it would only be drunk if we are celebrating something. What happened during apartheid was that they made that illegal, and they opened beer houses in the communities. So if you think about it, when we continue drinking, we are continuing our oppression. Because lama beer halls, namashibini was a way of keeping the black person's mind dull. You know, and then people were drowning their sorrows in alcohol. But the alcohol industry is an industry, you know? And I think we need to start understanding, we are not only killing us as individuals if we are poos and you become an alcoholic, but let's look at the effects that alcohol has in our own communities. You need to ask yourself, why in the suburbs they will sell a small bottle, but elokshin ingutu. I've never seen ingutu. You know, so we must start also be very critical. There's also an argument that says, no, good enough, but kukhona omunye ubaba othathe i-paycheck yakhe yonke wangafundisa abantwana bakhe wayoyiphuza. So what kind of a responsibility do we have if wena you are educating your children ngotshwala out of the money from another family where the father came and spent that entire salary package on alcohol? We must also look at how much alcohol is associated with violent deaths amongst young men, how much it is associated with domestic violence. And even the World Health Organization, if you removed alcohol and you controlled alcohol advertising, you will be able to reduce some of these things. So it's not only because we want to control in their lives. We are also, by reducing alcohol, by controlling alcohol, we are also reducing a lot of problems that we have in our communities, including the fact that you are such beautiful young women and there's young men out there who you see their lives just go to waste. And mawuhlangana naye ana 30 ngathi una 60 years because uqale ukuphuza from such an early age.
Thank you so much, Sis Lebo, once again. So, ladies, alcohol is a drug. Who knew?
Yeah.
I think, you know, sometimes masiphuza ne njengabangani sicabanga ukuthi, you know, this thing doesn't really affect us physically, mentally, emotionally. But for me, the biggest takeaway was that it does, and it is actually a drug, and we should start looking at it as a drug.
You know, the most important message in like Inkileng from the episode, Lanzeki Mametsi Mam Lebo, Hari, Skanwa, Skaitsa so, the whole talk, highly our export, and it emphasizes the power of choice. You know, at the end of the day, I'm talking laula. Bawjwe the dilemma tikitsanan. When on alakheto na what you follow, how do you follow? Now the follow whatever what the outcome is. So at the end of the day, you decide. Yeah.
Thank you to everyone at home, to our audience, Lebo, Rise Club, and my beautiful co-hosts. Make sure to join us next week for another episode of Rise. Join the conversation on our Rise Talk Show Facebook page and Mixed Reach. Until next week.
Woof, woof.